when I do the trio thing, to your point, since it is only 3 guys, I moved up to and started using my old Pro Reverb again, which is for all the gear people out there. It's just a 212 amp. It's a great Fender amp, and it's just having more power.
Today's episode is sponsored by Gator Cases. Guitarists, like any other musician, value the advantages of proper protection for their gear. Guitars, amps, effects, and accessories all need safe transport and storage. Luckily, Gator's got you covered. When you play with the trio, how do you set your guitar tone to fill all that space? Is there an EQ trick that you think about? But there's got to be something to fill that sound. How is the tone different in a trio versus some other setting you might be
I don't think it's so much of a tone thing as far as like an EQ thing or anything. I think as long as you have a good tone and you're not like over exaggerated in the bass or the high end, I think it's just having a nice tone. What I do kind of have to have is the amount of headroom in an amp. And so I was using a deluxe reverb for a long time, as many people do. And if I was backing up an artist or more in an ensemble setting where there might be another guitar player or a steel player or a keyboard player or something like that, and I'm backing up a singer, or it's not my gig, then a deluxe reverb or a smaller amp might be fine. But when I do the trio thing, to your point, since it is only 3 guys, I moved up to and started using my old Pro Reverb again, which is for all the gear people out there. It's just a 212 amp. It's a great Fender amp, and it's just having more power. So for me to have that extra power, it really kind of drives that trio, as well as having Jordan is an amazing drummer. Tim Marks knows how to play the bass. He's not approaching this trio in a fusion jazz sense where he's trying to play all these notes. And so it really works in a way that is kind of experimental, original, unique, homemade electric guitar music, but it's approached in a way that is really coming from me being a roots kind of influenced musician, but liking to open my mind into these other territories. And that combined with a drummer that can play anything on the planet, and it keeps it very, very interesting and pushing it forward and energetic and moving. And then the bass player who can also play anything he wants, but chooses to do his job and really, really play nice lines, but he's holding down the sonic foundation of the bass, which is the bass players. If they're a great bass player, they're not playing up here, they're playing down here. And then I'm able to kind of float on that and take some chances and stuff. And that to me is the most satisfying thing musically, and I love playing with my friends and singers and stuff too, of course, but the trio is where I can really kind of like go out of my mind, and that's really where we're all trying to get to. We just want to go out of our minds.
But with the Pro Reverb, does the extra headroom mean that you can get louder and the amp stays cleaner longer?
The low end stays full,
and then
I've got plenty of power. And the way that amp is configured is it's pretty stock Pro Reverb, but I have a Alessandro 12, which is a higher wattage speaker able to take the power. And then over to the right, Todd Sharp suggested to get the feel of that Fender back, that nice natural compression kind of squash, chewy, squashy kind of Fender compression thing that makes those amps feel so good. We put a Vox Blue speaker in there, which so you've got one kind of lower powered speaker and one higher powered speaker, and it just tones that amp back down a little bit and lets it feel really good. But man, I love that amplifier. And it's just kind of a basic setup, Fender amp, reverb, minimal pedal setup, but mainly plugs straight into the amp, But yeah, having the clean headroom is definitely something that it's a game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're running out of time here.
Of course.
We were playing, right when we were setting up, you were playing like a Django kind of jazz lick, like a gypsy jazz thing.
Yeah.
What was that lick? Can you play that lick?
Oh my God, let me see if I can pull it off. This is ridiculous because I would never just play this lick.
No, just give it to us. Who cares?
Let's
Come on.
see if I can do it. So, key of G.
Wait, go a little slower though. What is that? What are you thinking about?
Something like
that.
Are
you thinking about The
I
cage
don't know.
system. No, I don't fucking know. What are you
This
thinking
is
about?
not a musical exercise here, ladies and
What are
gentlemen.
you thinking about with that
This
lick?
is
Or
acrobatic.
where'd you get that lick from? What is that?
This is like acrobatics. It's kind of a Django-inspired lick. I think Brian Sutton actually showed me this lick
Really?
a long time ago, and but it's the key of G. It's just basically going through all the octaves. That's the lick, but fast. That's the hard part.
Do you ever break that? Have you ever broken that out in anything, or that's just what is that?
No, every once in a while I'll throw something like that in there, but yeah, I mean, that's like a party trick. That's like a bar room trick. That's like,
do you have another party trick that you can give that you can lay on us? I'm putting you on the spot here.
Oh man, what's a good?
Is there a great open string lick
not
or
really.
like a? That's
Let's
not
see.
really your.
Not really. I don't know many open string things, but
I see you do them though. What do you mean you don't know them?
man, I don't know. I try to get away from that. So I used to stand on tables and shit when I was young, and all these crazy things. I try to not do that anymore.
Quick note for all my guitar players out there. If you want the exact licks that Guthrie is playing throughout this video, they are all tabbed out and on my Patreon. Link in the description to check it out. You can subscribe, get all these licks under your fingers, and impress your friends. All right, back to the show.
Can you give us a little tune, maybe like a fiddle tune or something off?
Let's do,
moving in stereo.
Yeah. Let's see. What would be a good thing to kind of end out?
Don't play the window because you played that last time. No, you played this last time.
I did.
Last time you were on the show, you
Shit,
played
I
that
did.
song.
Oh, I
You gotta
did.
play
Okay.
something else.
Yeah. How horrible. Did I do this one? Let's see. This is good for the acoustic.
I love that. That's off your first record,
That's
right?
a little Buck Dancer's Choice. Yeah, just
Buck
a little fan.
Dancer's
So when we play that with the
Choice.
trio, it turns
Yeah,
into
yeah.
kind of more of an African crazy thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Guthrie Trapp on the podcast for the fourth time. Guthrie,
Unbelievable. That means I'm getting old.
Yes, me too.
Thank you, buddy. Always a pleasure.
We share. You're going to be traveling. I travel all the time with the guitar through
Yeah.
BNA.
Right.
It's such a struggle, isn't it? Through BNA, do you experience this? Going through security.
It's almost comical.
It's almost comical how bad
How
it is, isn't it?
ironic it is that the town that has more logos, even your plumbing company has a guitar as a logo.
Yeah.
The guitar has never been more present in any city ever. It's Guitar Town.
This is Guitar Town.
And the new airport that we love. Who doesn't like a nice new airport? But all the security, TSA, pre-check, wherever you're at when you go through security, of course, all the X-ray machines, the new ones, a guitar, even a Telecaster in a gig bag, won't fit through there.
so they have
So
to.
they have to take it
It's
out.
embarrassing. They take your guitar.
It's a little. I find it a little degrading as a professional musician. I'm a hard semi-pro. But to be standing there and have them take the instrument out of the case, there's something about it. It's an invasion of your privacy or something.
Well, also,
There's things that have been in that gig bag for 25 years and they're taking it out, and I'm like, man, you got to put that back, the way that it was in
and
there.
it's like, how valuable are these instruments? And they take them out, and then some TSA person's holding them, who's well intentioned, but they
Right.
don't know how to hold this stuff. It's like,
No, they don't, and I don't think if you're, I don't know, I don't care who you are. Anybody in this city that's traveling with an instrument, they should have figured that out. But to our point earlier, because I just don't want to complain about it, without having some sort of some sort of remedy.
We're
to
not
this
trying to
problem.
get on a no-fly
Remedy.
list here.
No, we don't want to
We're
do that.
trying to help.
Right, but so if you're going into the security, if you go all the way down to the right to the end, like down where the wall is, there's 2 original X-ray machines that they kept for some reason. Maybe they knew what they were doing all along. But if you go down to that side, you can run your guitar through there, and you won't have any problems. But it's still a pain in the ass because if you're TSA pre-check, sometimes you want to be able to be TSA pre-check.
Yeah.
Without having to go through that. But
Anyway, this is
we'll
ridiculous.
see what happens.
Guthrie Trapp.
Here's the other thing.
Yeah, give me the other
To
thing.
that point, you know how to get a musician to complain, don't you?
No.
Give them a gig.
Give them a gig.
You know how to really get them to complain? Feed them at the gig.
Feed them at the gig. That's it.